Hey guys, and welcome back to the Restaurant and Bar Marketing Podcast. This is your host, Erik Shellenberger from Los Angeles, California. Today, I want to talk about reputation management for bars and restaurants. Managing your online presence has been very important in the past. I've done a million videos about it. It's going to be way more important going forward in the future, which I'll get to in a second. This is with the rise of AI computers and how AI kind of measures whether they're going to suggest our restaurant or bar to a hungry customer or not. And it all comes down to third-party information. So I've said a million times that I hate Yelp, and it's the most unfair, most biased, most broken algorithm I think I've ever seen, with the possible exception of Apple Maps. But anyway, so everybody in every bar, restaurant owner, or most of them anyway, they hate Yelp too. So they say, well, I hate Yelp, so I'm going to ignore it and hope the public ignores it too, so it'll just go away. Well, Yelp, unfortunately, is not going anywhere. People use Yelp more than ever. By all means, do not pay Yelp. Don't pay to be in their whatever the thing they sell. I've never seen it work. I've done test after test after test. I wanted it to work. I wanted to get behind it. It just doesn't change. It doesn't move the needle at all. So anyway, I digress. A couple things are still very, very clear is we have to pay attention to our online reputation and our reviews. The big ones, Yelp and Google, of course. Now there's reviews available on reservation sites. OpenTable is a big one with reviewers. They can start reviewing through 7 Rooms, through, don't quote me on that, possibly 7 Rooms. On a lot of these other software platforms out there, especially reservation platforms, they can start leaving reviews there as well, which the public is reading, and they are basing their dining decision on those reviews. So please take it seriously and respond to every one of them. I've said this a million times. I know a lot of people just don't know what to say. They get emotional. They don't know how to word it. They don't want to come off as accusing or saying, hey, that's just bullshit, which in a lot of times it is, let's be honest. There's a certain way to respond, a certain way to not respond. Take an emotion out of it is the big one. And then don't just put out the fires. Respond to all of them. If you're putting out fires and responding to just the 1 stars, then all of our fans, if they go back and look at that page, they're like, oh wow, I don't even get a thank you unless I hate you guys, then I get attention. Doesn't make any sense at all. It's completely backwards. So go in there, respond to every single one. Now, the algorithms want to see these responded to within 24 hours of them posting. But there's the problem. So what do? Do you open Yelp and Google every single day and look at it for new reviews? It's going to get a little overwhelming and a little ridiculous. And now I did a talk in the Restaurant Bar Convention in LA on AI and AI-based review responses, which is still awesome. They work great, but now I'm already, that was in March. I'm able to pick out an AI response in 2 seconds of reading it. So they're already starting to look a little robotic. They're a little long-winded. They get way too in-depth when it's unnecessary. So I suggest doing it still as a human until AI gets a little bit better. And I don't think humans are going to get any less in tune with how to spot an AI written anything, book, article, review response, anything. On the other side, this is part of what I do for a living. Now, this is not a sales pitch. I'll give you everything that I know anytime, and that's what this is. This is what I'm going to do on your behalf. So at Bar Marketing Basics, other than the search engine optimization aspect, the other thing we do is reputation management. That means that's a fancy word of saying review response, more or less. So all of your reviews, I personally, not an AI computer, not some guy in India, not someone I outsource to in Timbuktu, me personally, Eric, goes in and responds to all your reviews on your behalf. All of them. Google, Yelp, TripAdvisor, Facebook reviews don't really exist anymore. TripAdvisor is 1% maybe, unless you're in a high international tourist area like Miami. TripAdvisor is everything to them. This is one aspect of what I do. I also go in and flag the ones that can be removed. Recently, I just did a video on on the worst of the worst Yelpers, and one of the examples that I used, there was a guy who wrote a 1-star review for Five Guys. And Five Guys had the opportunity to get that thing removed in a second because they left him this nasty review. And it was almost 100% fake. The guy is a free food seeker. He's one of these guys that writes 1 star after 1 star hoping to get a free meal. And it's very, very obvious when I'm looking at his profile. This particular one for Five Guys mentioned all this nonsense, blah, blah, blah. And there's a bunch of white trash people working behind the bar, or something to that effect. So if you're personally attacking somebody or insulting somebody personally, that's easily removable. I would have flagged that one and got that one removed immediately. So that's another part of what I do is all these Yelp takes a personal stance that they will allow complete bullshit nonsense reviews. If they're false and they know they're false, they're going to stay. That's the world we live in, I guess. So anybody can say anything about us and it's going to stick. There's not much we can do to combat it. There are these companies out there that say, oh, we'll remove your negative reviews for you, 100% guaranteed. Well, look into those a little further. It's not quite like that. It would be nice, but not only is it not like that, and it's not possible in all situations, it's possible in some situations. The fact remains that negative reviews are there for a reason. They're there to speak to the public. They're there to tell the public, this is my experience. I hated it because of A, B, and C. Yes, a lot of it's a gross exaggeration. I'd say most of it is a gross exaggeration. Some of it's accurate. Some of it, hey, we dropped the ball and we admitting it. We're not perfect. We'd like another chance. Here's my name and number. Love to get you in for another shot. Ask for me if you decide to make another visit. That's a great way to put it out there. And when we're responding to these, we're not talking to the reviewer. We're not going to send a DM. We're not going to do a private response. That doesn't help anybody. We're not talking to the author of the review per se. We're talking to the hungry public reading that review and about to make a dining decision right there and right now. That's the guy we're appealing to. So keep that in mind. All these responses are public. They're meant for the public to read them. They're meant to take accountability for ourselves 100%. And if there's something that we need to set the record straight and say, actually, that's not how it went down. If there is someone very intoxicated in there and they have a very different account of what happened when they got thrown out or 86 or cut off or whatever, we can set the record straight and say, in a respectful way, actually, yes, you did get asked to leave. We'd like you to come back at a different time when you've had less to drink. And this is actually what happened. And we can spell out the exact course of events. Usually those people get embarrassed and they'll delete their review anyway. There is an art and a science behind review response. It's not quite as simple as it sounds on the outside. But anyway, read more. If you'd like to hit me up about this and ask more about this, Erik, E-R-I-K, at barmarketingbasics.com, or just head to barmarketingbasics.com and check out the reputation management link. Everything is there. Our pricing, no contracts on any of the services we provide. We never, ever ask for a contract. Everything's month to month, 100%. And like I mentioned, all the work is done by me. It's not outsourced, and it's all done inside the USA. So hope this helps. Appreciate it.